The Los Santos Corkers Baseball Club is a baseball team supported by the families in Los Santos. They are likely a professional level team since they carry the city's name and probably play in the GTA universe's equivalent of Major League Baseball. They are based on the Los Angeles Dodgers, though their color scheme is more similar to the one used by the Los Angeles Angels. The Corkers Stadium cannot be found anywhere in San Andreas, however, it is shown in a Lager Light commercial. The name Corkers is most likely a reference to the act of corking, an illegal way of modifying a bat. Sammy Sosa and Albert Bell are both notable players who have been caught using a corked bat. Franklin has a Corkers poster in his old bedroom in his Aunt Denise's house. After saving someone from a robbery, the victim might thank you saying "I owe you. I can offer Corkers tickets." A Weasel News report on the radio says that the Corkers lost a game in extra innings. The game lasted from 4 p.m. to the crack of dawn. This might be referencing a real-life game between the LA Angels and the Oakland A's, which lasted 19 innings and did not end until 1:41 in the morning. Vinewood Boulevard is very lively and crowded due to its popularity in the celebrity culture of Los Santos. There are several tourists walking around the pavement, looking closely at their tourist guides and using their phones to take pictures. An interesting feature of the pavement is the Vinewood Walk of Fame, which lists many famous celebrities ranging from musicians such as O.G. Locke to radio talk hosts such as Laszlo Jones. Notable landmarks include the Oriental Theater, where performers can be seen entertaining the crowds of tourists, the Pacific Standard Public Deposit Bank, and the Von Krassenburg Hotel. Vinewood Boulevard is based on Hollywood Boulevard. It is a continuation of Eclipse Boulevard in West Vinewood and begins at Las Lagunas Boulevard in the west. The walk goes to landmarks such as the Oriental Theater, a tattoo parlor and the Doppler Cinema. After another intersection on Meteor Street, it passes through the Vinewood Police Station, where police cruisers can sometimes be parked beside the road. It goes through an overpass above Interstate 1 and immediately ends at the intersection with Vinewood Park Drive in the east, where it becomes Mirror Park Boulevard.
Have you ever wondered who I am?
Jesse is a minor character in Grand Theft Auto V, appearing as a soapboxer. He is an impersonator of Jesus Christ. If approached, he can be heard speaking various biblical phrases. He seems to be under the influence of some drug, as his ramblings make little to no sense. If interacted with Trevor Phillips, they both share certain resentment to their respective father figures. In contrast, if interacted with Franklin, he'll say his father is wonderful and that he loves everyone. He's mentioned in Reuniting the Family by Jimmy as the guy who thinks he's Jesus on Vespucci Beach. It's also implied that Amanda had sex with him. However, Jesse is actually situated on the Del Perro Pier in Del Perro. Killing him would make a face model that resembles Jesus' face when he is crucified. His one eye would be swollen shut while the other is slightly open. No matter how you kill him, this face model would appear. He's seen in the Bravado Bison commercial on TV. Originally, Franklin was able to play tennis judging by sound effects found in the game files, but in the final version Franklin is the only protagonist who cannot play tennis. According to Tanya Wiggins, Franklin fooled around with her behind a burger shot when he was 13. Franklin, however, denies it and claims that nothing serious happened. It is likely that Franklin is a Christian, or at the very least has studied the Bible at some point in his life. He immediately recognized the verse that Michael sarcastically used, after pulling down the house in marriage counseling, as coming from the book of Matthew. He is also described as believing in a white man's God. Another possible reference to Franklin's religious standing is his ability to purchase a torso tattoo quoting a biblical manuscript from 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. Pre-release artwork of Franklin shows him with a praying hands tattoo in his neck. Further supporting this theory, Franklin has an unfinished military bomb suit found in the game's files, suggesting that originally, in the Polito score, he would have robbed the bank lobby along with Michael and Trevor rather than the gunman in the final version. The head of his own Mexican-American drug cartel, Madrazo is a powerful and wealthy legitimate businessman settled in Los Santos with his wife Patricia and their son, Miguel. During the events of Grand Theft Auto V, he forcefully hires co-protagonist Michael DeSanta following an incident that cost him millions of dollars. In both of his appearances, Madrazo was voiced by Alfredo Oreca. Madrazo married his wife Patricia in 1983 and had a son not long after that. However, Madrazo mistreats her and is having an affair with a Russian woman named Natalia Zverovna. Madrazo is often described as a psychopath because of his short temper and his ruthless methods of dealing with people who cross him in any way, shown when he has Michael assassinate his cousin Javier Madrazo. Madrazo seems to respect people who respect him back, as seen in GTA Online, where he will be friendly towards the player and call them his friend if the job he gave was completed successfully. Not doing a job for Madrazo in GTA Online for a period of time will result in angry phone calls from him. Madrazo is a Spanish slang word meaning punch or blow. The Fooligans are a gang appearing in Grand Theft Auto 5 and featured in Grand Theft Auto Online. Their graffiti includes multiple catchphrases and digs at law enforcement, government, and corporations. Their mascot is Dildadud, a tribal figure holding a double-ended dildo in each hand. They are involved in the drug manufacture and supply business, specifically hallucinogens such as LSD. Much like the hippies, Fooligans are not aggressive towards players outside mission scenarios. They will usually run away when in the vicinity of any aggressive acts. Two can usually be found hanging out with rednecks at the boathouse in Sandy Shores between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. during the day, and up to 4 can be found drinking and smoking in a ruined house along the shore of the Alamosi between 6 p.m. and 4 a.m. at night. After the Los Santos Drug Wars update, they take over Trevor Phillips Enterprises meth lab at Ace Liquor in Sandy Shores, and later set up the Freak Shop in the Mirror Park rail yard. The leader, Dax, is introduced along with wrestler Lucadora, and drug chemist Lab Rat. The Los Santos Drug Wars formally introduces and names the gang. The Albany Roosevelt is a classic limousine featured in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online as part of the Valentine's Day Massacre special update. The vehicle is based on the custom 1928 Cadillac 341 A-Town sedan owned by the infamous mobster Al Capone, along with elements from the Cadillac 341B. The vehicle is named after Theodore Roosevelt and Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt, according to a widely believed but disproved legend, made use of the armored limousine confiscated from Al Capone for protection after the attack on Pearl Harbor, before he could have his own armored vehicle. A vehicle named Roosevelt, named after Theodore Roosevelt and manufactured by the Marmon Motor Car Company between 1929 and 1930, also bears a resemblance to the in-game Roosevelt. The fact that the car spawns in green in single-player garages is also a reference to Al Capone's personal car, which was also painted green to match Chicago police cars of the period. Upon closer inspection, the vehicle lacks any driving pedals. This is also found on the Z-Type and the Roosevelt Valor. Babies, children and teenagers do not appear in any of the games outside certain conditions, such as cutscenes, where they cannot be harmed by the player in free roam, which would be considered unacceptable by most video game critics and enthusiasts. In a pre-release screenshot of GTA 5, an elementary school was shown, called the Los Santos Elementary. This led players to believe that children were going to be featured in GTA 5. However, children do not appear in the final version. The school does. Like in past GTA games, children are only featured in radio shows, advertisements, the internet. Michael DeSantis' house contains photographs of his family through the years, including childhood images of Tracy and Jimmy. Franklin Clinton can be seen as a boy in pictures at the Clinton residence. A wreck of a school bus can be found at Stab City. Children's playgrounds can be found throughout Los Santos, such as in Broker Park and an unnamed park on North Sheldon Avenue. On the mission Fire It Up on the Grand Theft Auto Online, the contract update, and in the ending scene, Franklin claimed that he has kids inside his house on Vinewood Hills.